LeBron James is reading Malcom X, which is very interesting because he aligns himself with the exact type of leaders that Malcom X warned people about.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling and you take him for a friend.
There are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly. And therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that
I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro.
On the other hand, I think one could point to a large number of whites who have struggled for civil rights, for equality, and have got little or nothing out of it. Other than quite a few bruises.
Give me an example.
Well, the large number of white students who have gone into the South, for example, working for SNCC and other organizations.
Not working for SNCC or other organizations, but working for the white political machines who benefit by the voting efforts of Negroes.
Okay. Today, you could point to a large number of Negro leaders who have consistently betrayed Negroes in a whole host of areas.
They aren't really Negro leaders. These are puppets that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. These are parrots that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. You can't name me a Negro leader who has been betrayed Negroes, who has not been endorsed, sanctioned, subsidized, and supported by the white liberals.
If that doesn't describe the movements, the organizations, and the people that he surrounds himself by, I don't know what does. Let's listen to him talking about reading it.
Taylor, you want to follow?
Yeah. So you're holding the autobiography of Malcolm X along with Alex Haley. I don't know how far you are into the book, but what's your biggest takeaway so far?
I kind of just started a couple days ago, but I've read a lot of notes over the years. It's my first time actually reading this from start to finish. Just a very smart man, very smart man, and basically his words in the 60s, what's going on is actually what's going on today still.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming.
So guys, you guys know why I'm here, and the reason why I'm here is the number one main reason I'm here because of Hillary and what she believes in. I want people to understand. Now, I grew up in the inner city, and I know the whole notion of getting out and voting. And I was one of those kids, and I was around a community that was like, our vote doesn't matter. But it really does. It really, really does. We have to get out and make sure we vote.
These are puppets that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. These are parrots that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. You can't name me a Negro leader who has betrayed Negroes, who has not been endorsed, sanctioned, subsidized, and supported by the white liberals.
And let's not get it twisted. Malcolm X said a lot of different stuff, many of which are very unpopular today and no one would dare say. So check out videos of him speaking while you still can to hear it directly from him, not a watered down version of somebody speaking on his behalf. Malcolm X was not politically correct. He talked about white people, he talked about black people, And he even talked about Jewish people. But I wouldn't dare put that clip in this video because that would probably get me silenced, censored, blacklisted, and demonetized on all social media, because free speech doesn't exist in this country anymore. And if you dare mention that, they'll come after you, trust me. So I'll let you find those videos on your own so you could hear the full context of what he says. Personally, one of my favorite quotes from him is, "The media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent, and that's power because they control the minds of the masses." Love that. Fantastic. I've also been reading another book recently that I would love if LeBron James picked up off the shelf, which is called Color, Communism, and Common Sense by Manning Johnson, who is a black American who worked for the Communist Party until he left, realized what they were doing, and wrote an entire book about it. It's absolutely fantastic. This guy is intelligent, articulate, really makes you think what they're doing to our country, because most people right now are not this intelligent and smart. It seems like they're dumbing down our entire country. But he spoke eerily similar to Malcolm X about progressives, liberals, and how leftist leaders at the top were actually purposely exploiting our racial tensions. This is a direct quote from chapter 2, Subverting Black Churches. I'm just gonna say black because it's a more appropriate word in my day. Created doubt, lack of confidence, suspicion, setting up situations that bring about racial bitterness, violence, and conflict, putting forth demands so unrealistic that race relations are worsened. Attacking everybody in disagreement as reactionaries, fascists, Ku Kluxers among whites, and Uncle Tom among blacks constitute the Reds' pattern of operation. He's talking about the leftists and the communists who he used to work for. The entire book is fantastic. It's exactly what's happening today, and it's completely in alignment with what Malcolm X was also warning people about. So I just wanted to give people another perspective that you won't see in most media, you won't see in most college campuses, and you won't see in most activist groups, because there's a concerted effort to make sure that you never see this, that what I'm talking about is censored, silenced, blacklisted, and smeared. They'll try to destroy your reputation, destroy you financially on every level of everything if you dare go against these agendas that some of the best leaders in America have warned us about for around 100 years. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Let me know in the comment sections if you have anything to add. Have a wonderful day. And if you'd like to support, I have a Patreon, donor box, PayPal. Feel free to not. I'm totally fine. But I anticipate Facebook and YouTube cracking down further and further, since they openly admit they're cracking down further and further. Now they're going to stop viral content on their website that they don't agree with. They're already funneling my traffic away and shutting down my live streams. And what they find problematic is usually somebody that's truthful, honest, accurate, friendly, not divisive, not hateful, not trying to destroy our country. That's the biggest threat to what they're doing. And people have seen it coming for a long time. Have a good one. I'll be back.